Hey guys, Omar here. With more of us having to stay indoors with what's going on, I've come up with a list of 10 things that you can do if you're a photographer and you're stuck at home for whatever reason it may be. Okay, number one, I have work on your tabletop photography. So just like this shot here, basically this is pretty simple. This is just a product photography of a soccer shoe. And the lighting here is just a simple LED light that you can use. And the surface is, if you go to IKEA, they have a as-is section. And you can find old countertops. I think this was from some old drawers or something, a glossy texture. But you can use old wood. You could use different tabletops to set up your product photography scene. But work on your tabletop or still life photography. Set up a little station too, so you can change out the scene and just have your camera on a tripod and try different lighting for your tabletop photography. It's pretty fun. Number two, if you're a natural light photographer, maybe it's time to work on your indoor lighting, your flash photography. I would say start off with bounce flash. If maybe you have one speed light, start working on bouncing your flash around and see what effects you can get from it. Also, get a dummy. We made a video on this, but you can improve your lighting by working with a mannequin head. And so maybe you can buy one modifier and a trigger and start with one flash. You could do a lot just with one flash indoors, but work on your off-camera lighting with a dummy. Number three, sanitize all your gear. Just kidding. Kinda. All right, number four, maybe it's that time you can collect your work to make an album for your family or an album for a specific person now that you won't be around them so much. Think of one person you can make an album for and collect those photos. Now, if you don't want to print an album, you can actually make a slideshow of your work and have it, come up stream onto a television so that your family can enjoy the photographs that no one has seen because you take them and then you hide them for years. Number five, take a course. Now, personally, I use Creative Live. I have a Creative Live Pass, which gives me access to all their classes. So I love just putting on a course on lighting or photography and sometimes some other stuff. They have yoga on there. You can find an influencer that has a Skillshare sponsorship. They give about a month or 2 months free with a code. So you could do that in the next month or two, take some courses on Skillshare. And also just right on YouTube, if you create playlists for YouTube, like for example, I make Photoshop, I have a Photoshop playlist, and I just collect all kinds of techniques that I could use. But use the indoor time to learn a new post-processing or photography skill from other people online. Okay, number six, give new life to your old photographs. Especially if you've been photographing for a while, if you go back to the archives, you see some of the horrors of the editing that you've done. It's also interesting to see how those files hold up to the new processing and how the raw processing has improved, the sharpening skills, your sharpening skills have improved. So take some of your best old work and make a virtual copy or something. Don't ruin your old editing. And see what you can do with what you've learned. Look at that slideshow for the family to enjoy. Make one, it's good. 7, become a food photographer. This is actually a fun one. My favorite way to photograph food is to put the plate of food near a window to just get a lot of natural light. And then you can take some kind of reflector or paper on the other side to bounce that window light back on the food. And it gives a very nice, airy, natural look to the food. But you can plan your meals or some of your meals around food photography. Now, my favorite is to shoot overhead on the food, but feel free to go crazy and work on your food photography indoors. Plus, you get to eat. 8, work on your black and white. Now, I actually made a video on this on certain photographs that are good to black and white and why I black and white certain photos, so I'll link that up below. But it's more than just pushing the button for black and white. You need to start working, some of you, with curves. Find a black and white look that works for you and then keep it. Save it as a preset and use that for all your photographs. Instead of you having all kinds of different black and whites, work on just your black and white photography. Number 9, actually learn how to use your camera. For those of you that just, automatically point and shoot, you can work it a little bit. Use your indoor time to really learn the machine so it becomes an extension of your hand. Learn new settings, make some film presets. You can set up buttons, your custom buttons that you've never bothered to set. So watch some videos on that. I have a few, and you can actually set up your camera so when you're finally allowed to go outdoors, you're ready to go. And number 10, print. Show your work. Make a gallery. You know, out in the hallway, I have a little shelf that I bought from IKEA where I can actually, change out the work, but start hanging up your stuff. Maybe pick a hallway and plan a gallery out for your black and white work, or your flower work, or your food photography that you've been doing for a month. So maybe plan out, instead of a gallery somewhere outdoors, plan that hallway. Plan that blank wall in your home to, showcase your photography, and print instead of just being digital all the time. And as always, stay safe, folks. Stay safe indoors. Hang out with the ones you love, but not too close. And I'll see you guys next time.